know how well this presentation is going to go. I was practicing in front of my pit bull puppy, and she bit the shit out of my hand, and she jumped on my MacBook. So how many people here know what HDR is? Well, hopefully more people learn by the end of this. So HDR stands for High Dynamic Range. Essentially, it means more luminosity. You see lighter lights, darker darks, and essentially it's a process to make photos look better. And that's the loop. Talk really fast, Alright, so the basic idea behind HDR, well, the original intent was to make photos look just like you see them by your eye. The problem is all these wannabe photographers come on Flickr and they make them like unrealistic and look really cool like this. So there's some photography peers don't really like HDR. So there's lots of styles. So here's how I got into HDR. I won a Ford contest, they gave me a car, and every month I have a mission to do. And one of the missions was to hook up with local photographers like Tim Dorr and take pictures of the car in HDR style. So I've only known about it for like 2 months now. And so you're gonna need a few things. First off, a camera of some sorts. Bonus points if it does auto bracketing, which means it takes all the exposures in order, so you don't have to do anything fancy. And also save to RAW. RAW is a file format that gets all the raw sensor data, so you have all the detail in the same shot. And unless you have a freakishly steady hand, you need a tripod. And this is probably the best piece of advice I can give any photographer, regardless if you're doing HDR or not. Make shots perfect, especially with HDR when you need to align your shots later. So the basic idea behind HDR is you take usually 3 shots, exact same subject, one right after the other, and the only difference is the exposures change. So you put them in software, you merge them together, and you get something that looks pretty cool like this, depending on your style. And then, actually the hardest thing is probably camera setup. We made it instead it's an aperture. Well, you do all that stuff, and then your camera's all set up. Turn on RAW. You want to save to RAW. Self-timer is very handy. You need to set it to take in 3 shots and do them continuously after delay. That's handy so when you press the timer, the camera doesn't move after you let go. And then also set your aperture. We're doing aperture priority mode, so you need to have a fixed aperture. So the only thing changes is the exposure. And the lower the ISO, the better, because HDR actually emphasizes any noise in your images. So as low as you can go. Okay, so now everything's set up. What are you going to shoot? You don't want to shoot monkeys. They fling poo and they're pretty angry. You want to do something that's well lit that doesn't move. So I recommend architecture, buildings, cars that aren't moving. That's my favorite. So now you have all your shots. What are you going to do with them? You do software processes. The problem is all the free software is either really hard to use, and you need to know what histograms are, or there's limited what you can do. So I recommend something like Photomatic Pro. It's $99 if you pay for it. So now you have all your shots. You pretty much imported. Most applications have something called Generate HDR Image. It makes it, and then you have this crappy looking image, and you're wondering what the hell you did wrong. That's where tone mapping comes. Tone mapping is essentially putting all the tonal ranges and basically compressing it into something that your display can actually display. Most HDRs are 32-bit, most displays are 8-bit, unless you got subcredit buying a MacBook, which is a 6-bit display. And there's 2 types of tone compression mapping algorithms in Photomatic Pro. Tone compression, you don't see it too often. It makes everything look actually realistic. And then there's the badass detail enhancing mode, which makes things look cool. So this is the basic interface of Photomatic Pro. And basically, there's not much instruction. All you have to do is move the sliders until it looks good. And that's all you need to do for regular HDR. But you might be wondering, well, you said take pictures of stuff that doesn't move, so how do you do stuff that's moving? Well, the trick is to do one raw shot of something and just overexpose it, underexpose it, save it as 3 files, use HDR on that. And that was basically it. The problem with that is that if you do any tracking with the camera, it's going to get all fucked up. So you need to use it, one non-tracking shot, and then you make profit. So after you do all that, what else can you do? Well, if you're really dedicated, you can do something like a panoramic HDR, where you do a bunch of shots in the sequence and use a lot of shots. This is actually only 12 shots. I've seen some that use up to over 30 shots. This is actually Norway. And if you want to know more, just visit my blog, pcm.com, follow me on Twitter, @Stamming. And I usually talk this fast in real life too.